Oh, yo. That was so bad.
I wish you could see the
You're
audio
mine
files.
today, G.I. Joe.
Well, welcome everybody to the first episode of Are Y'all Recording? A nerdy little podcast about all kinds of nerdy things. Shit.
Right
You're
there.
doing great.
I'm doing awesome. First episode, we're kicking all kinds of butt.
Off to a
I'm
rollicking good
Dev.
start.
I'm Dev. I'm one of the hosts of this show, and with me is
Caitlin.
Phil.
Janine.
And Cobra Commander.
also known as what? This is a show where we like to talk about all kinds of nerdy things, but today is a very, very special day. It's Halloween, folks.
Ooh.
It's our favorite time of year.
Ooh.
Ooh. I like how we sync that up. Wow.
You get to go to the store and buy tons of candy, and when all the kids come by, you tell them you don't have any. And you just say to yourself,
While you shove it in your face hole.
I can feel the cavities growing already.
Cavities.
Why something happened today that is gonna make you angry. I went to the store and guess what we found in the candy aisle?
"What?
Christmas stuff.
Oh no!
Well, of course, it's
Already?
Halloween, so they're already getting ready. They're probably thinking for that February holiday that people like so much.
They've
Valentine's.
been
That one,
Yeah, that thing about the love and stuff. You know, with the fat kid with the wings. But yeah, it's Halloween. It's our favorite time of year. I know it's mine, and I know it's a couple of other folks on this show's favorite time of year.
Well, it's mine, but that's because my birthday was yesterday.
Well, happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday!
Just to let you guys in on a secret, she's old.
Anyways.
And then we never heard from Devin
It's okay.
again.
I'm old too.
I'm not.
You
I'm
know.
young and vibrant.
But yeah, since it's Halloween, we have a special topic to talk about. The topic of the supernatural. The things that go bump in the night. The things that make it hard to sleep at night. Let me put it that way. Everybody's got a story. Some weird story to tell of something that's happened in their lifetime. And I kind of want to know what that is. Who wants
Could
to
have
start?
sworn I've heard this from a movie before.
Let's say what?
Movies have
Exact
covered everything
words.
of life.
All right, then.
Like,
Perfect.
yeah. So who wants to start?
Okay, I guess so.
Well,
I guess no one wants to start.
Direct us a great
Free
lead.
podcast.
Hard,
Don't
Devin.
forget to like and subscribe.
I don't know what to do without command.
All right, well, I'll start us off. I've got two for you guys, okay? One not so bad and one that's kind of dark. We'll start out with the good one. This happened way back in 2001. 2001 was a rough year, not only for me, but also for America. We had 9/11, and it was a terrible, terrible thing. God rest all those souls. But earlier in that year, my grandmother on my mother's side died. She was really important to me. She helped me become the person who I had become so far at that point. I think I was only around 12 years old. But she had a very deep place in my heart and continues to this day. She died of cancer. Tough thing to deal with. But the supernatural thing that happened with that moment was we went to go visit my grandfather after she had died. And in this den was a green rocking chair. This is a room where me and my brother spent all of our time when we spent the night there. So we knew the room really well. But I sat down there because it was quiet and I didn't want to be around anybody. I was kind of depressed. And as I sat on a couch near this chair, the chair started to rock back and forth like someone was sitting in it. And I know, like I said, I knew this room very well. The air conditioner couldn't push this chair. It was not, it just wasn't possible. But it rocked as if she was, as if she was still there, you know, at least if anything, letting me know that she was okay. And that stuck with me. It still sticks with me to this day. That's the only reason why I can tell the story as well. But it let me know at that point in my life that there's something on the other side, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
it was a big, yeah. that wasn't the spooky one. The spooky one comes next. This next story actually didn't happen to me. It happened to my dad. If anybody who knew my dad was a preacher. I'm a PK, preacher's kid. So we went to church a lot. And if you grew up in a black church, you may end up at church all day. See, Wyatt knows.
I'm almost done. Hold on, just give me 5 more minutes.
The Lord said, and moving on. But no, we were there for an evening revival, and it was after one of the visiting preachers got finished preaching. You know, there's this call for folks who want to, you know, come back into the church to do so. And this one guy, he walks up and he sits up front and lets the church know, and the preachers around him, my dad included, that he wanted to give his life back to God. Happy for this man. I'm glad he wanted to do so. The crazy thing is, though, what happens after was something that I was really surprised whatever happened. After he, you know, presented himself and everything, they take him to the back to get his information, you know, that he can speak with the preachers and all of that good stuff. So my dad, helping with the other preachers, he took him to the back. And what followed was one of the scariest things that's ever happened in his life, because I know he was quiet the entire way home afterwards. He told us that after they went back to the back, all of a sudden the man kind of fainted out of himself and started to kind of sort of have a seizure. And he was going back and forth, and they didn't know what to do because they've never encountered anything like this at this point. But then all of a sudden, the man tensed up, stared directly at my dad, and growled at my dad as if possessed.
What?
And my dad was one of the preachers who was trying to hold him down as he was doing all this twitching back and forth, along with 2 other guys, 3 big preacher men trying to hold this one guy down, and they
Your
could
dad
barely
wasn't a
do it.
small guy.
Yeah. My dad was not a small guy. So it took 3 men to hold this tiny, tiny man down, and they could barely do it. But he stared at my dad with this truly evil intent, like he wanted to do something to my dad. This man was truly possessed. One of the scariest moments in my dad's life. And I know he had no reason to lie about it, because when it came to the church and his ministry, it's one of the very few things that he took seriously. And it kind of scared us, because, you know, then I really started to notice, you know, with, you know, good supernatural things that can happen in this world, there's also great evil. That stuff like, excuse me, Mom, The Exorcist, that stuff can be very true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's my dark one, guys. But yeah.
you
You
okay?
okay over there?
Caitlin, are you okay?
I need my teddy bear to comfort me.
But yeah. And since then, I've enjoyed having knowledge of the supernatural, but I won't participate unless, you know, it has to do with somebody that I care about. I leave that stuff alone.
Too black for that.
Yeah, I'm too dark for that. But no, but you know, those are my supernatural, or at least a couple of my supernatural experiences. Who's next?
I guess I'll go next so we can keep our order that we've established. Because I like
Fuck
order. It
order.
keeps
Go
me
with
sane.
anarchy. I'll go next. No.
Okay, so this is kind of a shared story. The specific thing happened to me only, but so I was in the theater department at my school, and my high school had two auditoriums. We had the auditorium that was originally built with the school. It was this giant place that could fit hundreds and hundreds of people. And then there's another one that we used, which was the more modern one. It got built onto the new addition. The older one was never used for performances, but it housed a lot of our equipment and our costumes and everything like that that we needed. Well, 15 to 20 years, I don't remember the exact date, before I started going to that school, and was a part of the theater program, there was a performance of Romeo and Juliet in the main auditorium, because that was before built. And during one of the shows, the girl who's playing Juliet fell out of Juliet's tower and broke her neck on the impact. So
Oh.
she
What?
died instantly in the
Wow.
auditorium. Yeah, so it was like this really traumatic story that kind of haunted the school for a long time, because it was, I don't know exactly what happened to the theater program, but I know that it was just starting to get much it was starting to gain progress again after that happened, just when I was getting there after all that time. So whenever we entered the auditorium, we had that kind of the superstition that we had to ask the ghost of the girl for permission. And I'm trying to keep out the names just because I don't want to be too specific, because one, I don't want people to know where I live, and two, it's her life and things. So, but anyways, we'd ask her for permission to go into the auditorium, and if we didn't, people said that something bad would happen to us, like she would take it out on us because she didn't feel that we respected the theater, because she was this huge avid actress, theater person. She wanted to be a star in the theater world. And so if we didn't respect it, then she'd get us. I didn't believe this when I first started. So, and people had even warned me, they told me stories, and I was just like, nah, it's stupid. They're just trying to scare me because I'm new and all this other stuff. So one day I just go into the auditorium, and I don't do what I've seen my friends do dozens of times, by asking her for permission to enter. And I go all the way across the stage to the costume room. And as I'm walking back, we have these trolleys, I guess, of like chairs. Like there's just like, hundreds of chairs stacked on this one trolley thing that they can move easily throughout the school. And as I'm walking past it, the chairs just start to fall. Like they just start coming at me, and I was able to get out of the way because I saw it from my peripheral vision, and the whole thing just toppled over, and all the chairs spilled out across the stage and into the audience, and I booked it so fast out of that theater. I was like, she's gonna get me. And it took me months to go back into the theater, because like I talked to some people, and when you stack chairs, there's always a risk of it falling. But on the trolley thing, like there's like 4 stacks basically on this trolley, so they're kind of like, it was a good structure, so there wasn't really, unless someone had just stacked them stupidly, there's no reason for them to fall over. So I became a believer of ghosts that day.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll do.
and whenever we'd tell freshmen to appease the ghost and ask her to come into the theater, I would grab them by the shoulders and go, no, really, you need to ask her for permission. So that is my story.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I think the only other time I've ever really experienced a ghost was my cat likes to stare at the corner of my tub, and she never goes near anywhere else in any bathroom, but she just likes to stare in that corner and kind of make a weird noise. And I'm like, yep, I have a tub ghost.
Oh,
So,
that's kind of creepy.
You have a
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of
I
creepy.
like to watch you bathe.
yeah, exactly. I used to not use it for a long time until my cat stopped going in there and looking at the corner. So,
No, when
like,
the cat
nope, I'll
starts
use the
going in,
shower
that's
down the
that's
hall
when you're
instead.
supposed to stop.
what'd you say, Wyatt?
All
Wow.
right.
When your cat starts going in, that's when you're supposed to stop going in.
Mm-hmm. Because the animals always seem to know first.
They have a warning that goes off in their
Yes.
head,
Yeah.
like stuff's about to go down. Leave. And then they
Pretty
do.
much.
I guess
All
I'll go
right.
next. My family, we suffer from sleep paralysis, which is basically whenever you're asleep, you can't move. But we also have a thing where we are semi-conscious whenever this is happening, and our body feels like it's really heavy, and you can't move. It's the most terrifying thing you can ever experience. There was one time I was in my room. This is when I shared a room with my brother. I was in my room and I had decided I wanted to take a nap, and my brother was at work, so I started to take a nap, and in my subconscious or my slightly conscious state, I was looking around and I saw my brother on his bed. Like everything was in the exact same position as it was. My glasses were right next to me on my bed where I put them, and I saw my brother on his bed. And I was like, my brother shouldn't be here. So, and I was like, I want to get a good look at him because it's my to make sure I'm not seeing things. And I tried grabbing for my glasses, and I couldn't move my body, and that accompanied with a figure that I think is my brother terrified me. But that's the closest to paranormal that my experiences get.
Were you abducted?
Yeah,
No, I wasn't.
yeah. So we do have a lot of like I guess um, issues with the sleep paralysis, like amongst especially the women in my family. Um, yeah, I've heard of some of my cousins and of course Philip um, having similar like night terrors or whatever it is. But for me personally, it's not really like a figure standing in the corner of the room, but it's like borderline lucid dreaming, where you realize that you're asleep. Um, and but for me, like I get like really panicky about it, and like I try to wake myself up, um, and it's like really scary. Fortunately, I haven't had that happen in a really really long time. Um, but when I did, it was really bad.
I remember
Um,
you telling me a lot about him in high school.
yeah, I used to have them a lot in high school, and here recently, like in the past few years or so, like I haven't had very many. Um, I've only woken Wyatt up a few times with them. I used to have them all the time, but that's not even my paranormal story. My paranormal story is actually kind of creepy. I had witchcraft put on me a long time ago. Um,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Oh wait, I think I
Um,
remember. I think I remember this one.
maybe I don't know if I ever told you this, um, but it was a long time ago. I was dating this guy, and we broke up abruptly. I left him, and I had left some things at his house, like hairbrushes and clothes and makeup and stuff like that. Anyways, I stopped talking to him because he was an idiot, and
That's a good reason.
that's a good reason to stop talking to someone. And um, so for a week or a couple of weeks after the breakup, like I was having a hard time sleeping and a hard time eating. Like I just didn't have an appetite for anything. Um, and I had lost like 20 pounds over like a 1 week time frame. And then out of the blue, a little while later, this guy calls me, and he's like, "Hey, I just wanted to apologize because I did something really bad." And I was like, "Other than being an idiot, what did you do?" And he said, "Well, you left some things at my house, and I um, put a curse on you." And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" He's like, have you been able to eat or sleep recently?" And I was like, "Been having a hard time." He was like, "Yeah, that was me." And he goes, "But it's okay because I took it off of you, so you should be fine now." He's like, "I just wanted to apologize." I was like,
Well,
uh,
yeah,
thanks, I guess.
at least he was honest about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she found him and
So
shot him.
I don't know if he was just trying to scare me or what, but I am leaning towards the belief that he did, in fact, like use my hair from my hairbrush to put a little spell on me. Um, so yeah, that was. I mean, we've had other things happen here and there, like in the family, but that's like the one that I like sticks out to me.
Not even the boogeyman
Note to
who's around the house.
self.
That's not really a boogeyman.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Mr.
note to
Phillips.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Phillips.
Phillips.
Yeah, we have a spirit living in our house. Named Mr. Phillips. He's the previous owner. And every now and then, like no one smokes in the house. Like we just don't smoke. Every now and then you'll smell cigarette smoke, and we just assume that it's Mr. Phillips.
Wow,
He doesn't
that's
really do
Really,
anything. Just
Yeah, he
every
just
now and then we'll just smell cigarette smoke.
I'm really gonna scare him this time.
You're just standing there with his,
he lights a
ghost cigarette. Yeah, they're gonna feel that fear.
I want you to know that I could do something.
So yeah, like any ladies out there, don't leave hairbrushes and other belongings at crazy ex-boyfriends' houses.
yeah, really. Like I'm making a note to myself, like get everything from boyfriend's house if I break up.
That's funny
So,
because normally you hear about it from the opposite sex. The other way around.
Yeah. Well, like, and I probably should have like known better when he told me, like, when we were like together, that his grandfather was a witch.
Oh, I do remember this. I do remember this story.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, because I didn't really believe him. I was like, oh, whatever. Your grandfather was a witch, and no, witches are real. Like that shit's not a joke. Don't play with it.
This is the first time I'm hearing of this story.
Yeah. I haven't really told it to many people. I thought the only person I told it to was Wyatt, but
No, I remember this because you told me this. Yep, because you told me his granddad did practice, and I thought that was kind of weird. Bruja type stuff. But okay.
yeah, boys can be witches too.
Yep.
you're a wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
Quality.
I guess that makes it my turn, and I have two things. Like I'm black, and I know what happens to black people, so I'm pretty good
What?
about avoiding this stuff, you know. But so in my house, like the room I slept in during the daytime, it was never really at night or anything, but there was like this bird nest over my room, right? And so like I don't know if you've seen these kind of windows, but they have like these metal bars like in between the glass is like a aesthetic piece, so it looks like a big grid, right? So those were in my window, so the glass obviously isn't open, like it's obviously a glass there, it's easy to see, right? And so birds would just crash into my window. Like I'd be in my room, like playing my GameCube or like drawing or whatever, and all of a sudden just hear boom, and you see like this bird like fluttering, and then it like flies off, and it was like, what the heck, right? But I was like, oh, okay, there's just like this bird nest, and the birds must be really dumb. But like, so like when you're sitting like in front of my door, because I had my beanbag like in front of my door, when I'd be sitting there, occasionally I would glance up and there'd be the shadow going into my bathroom. So like the door to my room and the door to my bathroom were like perpendicular, and it looked like my mom. But like, I went and checked on it twice, and only twice, and I never got back up to check on it again after I would see it. Because I'm smarter than
Oh my
that.
gosh.
Because like
You're smarter than that.
the first time I thought it was my mom, right? And I was like, "What's my mom doing in my bathroom?" Nobody's there, right? Second time I thought it was my mom, and I'm talking like to my mom, and no one's replying. So I go and look, and yeah. And then my second story, I went to camp. I used to be a Boy Scout, right? So I go to the summer camp, and there's this rock, this big boulder, and we called it the monkey's palm, right? Because it was like a face painted on it, and then there was like a palm painted on it, and they said it was left by Native Americans. Um, so like supposedly this boulder was cursed, and like if you touched it, bad things would happen. Like one of the stories was this dude touched it like straight on, and like a pickle jar just like falls right in front of him while he's washing dishes and like almost hits him in the head. So
What? Wait, there was a pickle jar above his head?
yeah, like like in the cupboards.
Oh, okay.
No, it was just
Yeah,
floating there,
yeah.
Janine.
There's like a shelf above him, and it just like randomly falls. So like I didn't believe this, right? And so like I was by the rock, right? And it was a few of us, like we went up to the rock to look at it and stuff, and some of the boys were like touching on the rock, and so like
Mm-mm.
I was like, no, this is fake, this isn't real, and like I got really close to it, like waving my finger, and my finger touches it, right? And I'm like, no, nothing's going to come out of it. So one of the boys who touched it sprained his ankle. One of the boys who touched it,
Got that bad juju.
yeah. Another one who touched it ended up getting his arm hurt or something. I wasn't around when he hurt himself. Uh, I just know he came back to camp like early, and then I ended up being run over by a sled.
Yeah.
Had this activity, right? It was they lay down sawdust because sawdust kind of acts like snow, right? And they had
Mhm.
these sleds, and we were having races to like, one person would pull, one person would ride the sled, and then you would switch, and then go back, and whoever did a full lap, won. And like it was my turn to pull, and I'm like running, 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 and I trip, and the sled doesn't stop, and like goes like, straight on top of me, right? And it hurt a lot, and I was like,
Oh.
oh crap, the monkey rock is real. Yeah.
Bet you won't touch that rock no more.
So if you ever hear anything about Native Americans leaving something, don't touch it.
Yeah,
I
don't
know.
touch.
I do have to say though, like I'm sure that's true because all the examples that you have. But as a past camp counselor, I would just make up random things that were cursed to like scare my kids. I was like,
What?
don't walk past that tree. You're gonna get cursed, man. You gotta- like I just do
Oh
whatever
my
I can to fuck with the kids.
All right, but how old were the kids though?
I feel,
Oh, they're all
I
age
feel,
groups. Yeah.
I feel like she would do something like take a previous scar that had nothing to do with the situation. You see this? You see this huge scar on my ankle? That came from messing with that rock, man. Don't touch that rock. I almost lost my foot. But man, I'm a terrible person, so yeah.
So
Yeah, me
obviously
too.
you lived from the sled incident.
Yeah.
Unless we've been
during
talking to
that-
a ghost this whole time. Supernatural
Was that the
experiences get
same?
better and better.
It might have been the same camp. No, it wasn't the same camp. I almost like broke my elbow. I don't
You
think.
gotta stop going to camp, bro.
So the moral of the story is don't go to camp because the counselors will lie to you
Just stay
and
at
you'll
home.
die.
Or you'll get cursed, or both.
No, that
Just
rock
stay at
isn't
home and watch
cursed. You can
TV,
go and
kids.
touch it all you
That's
want.
safe.
Okay.
Never
then you
go
get-
outside or have fun. Just ignore the world around you.
That's what I do.
It's not safe out there, everybody.
Yeah.
Wow, there's some good stories out there. I mean, they're all good. I mean, yeah, they're some really good stuff.
And then I have a sad
really-
one too, but it's sad.
Sad
Go ahead.
story is that?
Yeah, sad story is sad. So when I was in high school, we lost one of our cousins in a car accident. And he was really young. He was only 5 years old. It was really sad and, hard to get over, with him being so young. And he and I were really close. He loved it when I came over. He would always ask me to spend the night at his house because he liked playing with me. And he did not like my boyfriends. I would, bring a boyfriend over and he would just like mean mug him and like just give him dirty looks. He hated my boyfriends. But he was really cute, cute little 5-year-old. Anyways, a few years after he passed, um, I was working in this check cashing store. So it was like one of the types of places where like the tellers are behind glass and like you speak through a window and there's money exchanged and all that good stuff. So there was this mother that came in with her son and she was cashing a check or whatever. I don't remember, but the little kid wanted to give me a hug. Like he was crying because I couldn't come out from behind the glass because it was a safety issue, and they couldn't go in because I was in charge of like hundreds of thousands of dollars, so they couldn't come in. And he really like was telling his mom that he wanted to give me a hug, and I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet." And she was like, "It's weird. He's usually not like that. Like he, doesn't ask people for hugs." And I was like, "Oh, well, sorry, I can't really help out. I can't, calm him down or anything." But I asked, what the child's name was, and he shared the same name as my cousin that passed away.
Oh wow.
So I don't know if that was like, like some people believe in reincarnation, or maybe it was just, a, a spirit visiting or what.
Yeah,
But
I think that was
Or
him
maybe he's
saying,
going around
he still
possessing
loves you.
people.
That's terrible.
wait, what?
He's going around. He's going around possessing kids with that share his name.
That's a little dark.
I mean,
I think that was his way of just saying, he still loves you. He misses you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like he and I were really close, and that was kind of sweet, but sad too.
Yeah, and I guess it kind of it brought up the good memories of him.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
So anything spooky left?
well, actually, like as you were talking about that, I completely forgot about it. But at the end of middle school, it was the year my brother was going off to college, and at the day we were like going to go look at a college for him, my dad got a call that one of my friends from school had died from a heart condition.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so every week we would go down to the middle building. We had 3 buildings in our school, so we'd go down to the middle building for chapel. And I think it's more of just it was like the muscle memory, whatever it was. But his class would always come in right after ours, and he'd always grab me by the left shoulder to like get my attention because that was the first time we saw each other in the morning. So he'd always be like, "Hey, what's up?" And so for like months after that, every time I would sit down and the class would come in, I'd feel that same
Oh, wow.
sensation on my shoulder. So, but I think it was more of just like And me trying to be logical about it, it was more just probably like I missed him and I kept thinking about it, but I don't know, like even my shoulder would kind of jerk back. So, yeah, so that was interesting. So it might have been him, or maybe I was losing my mind. But either one, I was able to still remember him. So
Yeah.
Well, I like to think it's all real, that it's all out there. That's me, speaking from the experiences that I've had.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I think it's been more of just like I believe it, but I also am kind of freaked out by it. So my brain's like, there's probably another explanation for this. So yeah, the
I
afterlife.
don't know.
Freaky.
I've never got a chance to get freaked out. But you guys know my history. I've been into dark stuff since birth.
Yeah.
But
Please
Yeah,
don't
you're a kitty kid.
goes into the basement.
no, huh?
Yeah, please don't be
Don't.
the
What'd you say?
guy
What?
who goes into the basement because I'm not following you down there.
I was gonna say that.
No,
I remember this one.
Never
This
man
one
from
We're
time.
not. We're not gonna go over horror movie rules. Oh, wait. Hold on. I'll be right back. See why I got it.
Well,
Y'all make
okay,
me
that
feel-
flew over my head.
Y'all make me feel so lame. Okay, well, I
You
have
are
one
lame.
question. I am lame, but it's okay. I got a question. Since we've talked about, our own experiences and everything, am I the only one who's ever wanted to visit a haunted place or a supposedly haunted place?
No,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you
Oh.
are.
no, you're not. I actually,
Like nobody wants to go.
I had a
Nope.
No, I'm good. No, I'll pass.
I had a coworker that asked me if I wanted to go to the site of where Texas Chainsaw Massacre happened. I was like, sure, I'll go.
Oh, I have seen that house, and it is. Oh, that's the best way I can put it. It is. It looks like some hillbilly redneck stuff went down there that no one wants to talk about.
That's when I turn into a bear and say, "How about no?"
Well, I'm only asking because I was doing some research, and I always do research on the supernatural and the paranormal. But one thing that's always stuck with me since, like, does anybody remember the show Most Haunted Places on Earth?
Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I remember that.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed that show.
I just watch that like every day.
Yeah, back on ABC Family.
Mhm.
There was this one house. It's the Winchester Mystery House. I have always wanted to visit this house. Ever since I found out about this place so long ago.
Is that where Sam and Dean live?
No,
No,
where
no,
the
no.
Lady
But
Winchester.
their name is inspired by that. Surprisingly enough, but the Winchester House. Does anybody know the history of the Winchester House?
Yes, I do.
No,
It's
I'll try to make.
I'm pretty sure our viewers don't.
What'd you say? What?
I'm pretty sure our viewers don't.
Oh, the Winchester House. A lady that had lived there started renovating
Sarah
the house.
Winchester.
Yeah, had started renovating the house, and then I think one night she got a visit from a ghost, and the ghost said, "Do not stop renovating the house." And so she never stopped renovating the house. So now that house has like stairways that lead to nothing, just doors that you can open that just have brick walls behind them. It's really
Yeah,
interesting.
It's like this freaky maze of a house, and I want to visit it. It's out in San Jose, and I would love to go there one day just to check it out.
I will absolutely go with
Nah,
you
I'm good.
if you invite me.
Because I mean, there are like doors that you open it, and you're looking right outside the house on the third or fourth floor, or even there are whole rooms that are encapsulated by windows. There's no way in and no way out. It's like,
Oh,
yeah, why do you build a room like that? It's said that the rooms were built to confuse the ghost in the house. Like when she was living and it was being built, she wouldn't sleep in the same room every night. She would move from room to room because she was haunted by the ghosts of the people who have died from the Winchester rifles, because that's where this is all stemming from.
That's
And I
an
want to visit
artistic
this.
move.
What's up?
I'd just move at that point. Be like, yeah, nah, it's less effort.
So, the moment they're like, don't stop renovating the house. You know what? You could tell that to the next owners.
Don't stop renovating the house.
Yeah,
You know what?
yeah,
I'm just here to
exactly.
visit. I'm
And then
gonna
they
leave
follow
now.
you and they're like, hey, you gotta renovate this house too.
Yeah, I think that was the thing. That's what Sarah was afraid of, is her being tortured and stuff by these ghosts for the rest of her life. So she built this house to kind of appease them.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's my one haunted place I'd love to visit.
I'd go to Salem.
Oh, I want to go
Salem,
to Salem as
Massachusetts.
well.
Yeah.
Just to
Wyatt,
get
would you go
some-
with me?
I love you, babe.
Wyatt, just think about it this way. Do you weigh as much as a duck?
So sad. I forget that I really am the dark one in this group, not just physically. But yeah, I forget that I'm the dark one around there. That I'm into the scary stuff.
Oh, I also think that we should go and visit Silent Hill, the actual place, because I want to be disappointed and see that it's nothing like what Silent Hill that we know.
Well, that's kind of
Oh,
lame.
the sun's out today.
Why do you want disappointment in your life, Phil?
I mean, it just might be interesting.
You want to know the crazy part? Knowing our luck, we go and it's a foggy day that day. It's the perfect representation of Silent Hill. Like, we drive through town, nobody's on the streets. It's friggin' foggy out for no reason. It's not like rain came the night before, but
We turn around.
for some
the
reason on
street's
this
gone.
day,
We haven't had fog like this in 76 years. Oh, it just so happens to be foggy on the night we go? Okay.
And then there'll be that
Yeah,
one
that's
scenario
exactly
where
what
like
happened.
Devin and I are talking, and then we're gonna be at like an intersection where one of us crosses the road and one of us turns left, and we're gonna be separated. And it's like, oh crap, where'd they go? Oh my god! And then just like someone gets a phone call. Hey, where'd you go? So I went left. Oh, I went straight. Oh, all right. Let me cross the street real quick.
I just imagine like going with a group of friends to any haunted place and then like looking at something, like finally getting into it, going like, oh, this is cool. And then when I look up from whatever I'm looking at, everyone's gone. And then that's how I die. Like,
Oh my
that's what
god, I would
imagine.
cry. I would cry.
That's about right,
I don't even
man.
think I would be like, I don't even think I'd be upset. I think I'd just be like, you should have known, you stupid idiot.
How did you
Of
not
course
think
this would happen this way.
I'm Batman.
Oh my god.
Oh, Batman's here apparently.
Yeah.
Up, Devin,
All
watch out.
right. Excuse me while I go. Excuse me while I go plug my butt. Oh, that's right. Everybody doesn't know about this yet.
Oh yeah, no.
Maybe that's a story
Oh.
for another.
That is a story for another time. We'll talk about why I have to
Leave the
plug.
audience in suspense.
We'll talk about why I have to plug my butt from Batman another day.
Oh god.
But yeah, you guys have given me some good stuff. I think this was a good first episode, guys. Hopefully Halloween has been good to you, like it's always been good to me.
And if you're going trick or treating and have already trick or treated tonight, be sure to check the candy before you eat it. You don't want any razors in there.
If you're still out there,
razors
watch
are
out.
gross.
Yeah,
The clowns are gonna get you. The clowns.
I don't know why when Caitlin says it sounds like just sheer sarcasm.
because it is.
Actually, like no, like I have like when I get home at night, I run to my door because I'm like the clowns are gonna get me. So I even like sprained my ankle last week because I was like and I was wearing heels and I was just like oh no, they're gonna find me.
You guys want to know something crazy? I think, and this is just me spitballing, I talked about this with my brother. What if this whole clown thing is just like viral marketing for the It remake that's coming out.
I've been thinking about that.
I don't think.
Like, it just so happens after the poster comes out, there's clowns popping up.
All over the
I don't
freaking
care
place.
what it is. I don't
No.
like it.
I don't.
No, I mean, because they did the same thing for a book called, not a book, but a movie called The Gallows. Does anybody remember that game that everybody was playing? Oh God, where you stick one pencil on top of the other, and kind of
Charlie something.
the Charlie game, whatever it was.
Yeah.
That was literally viral marketing for The Gallows.
Huh.
It wasn't just something somebody made; it was viral marketing for that, and I thought it was genius.
I did not know that.
Neither did I.
I don't
But-
appreciate it.
I
will
don't
say-
like being scared. Mm.
I will say that I don't think that the clowns is viral marketing, because I don't think viral marketing would actively harass people out on the street in the middle of the night.
You'd be surprised.
No, like,
You'd
I
be
saw-
very surprised.
I saw some,
Hollywood could be willing to go that far.
well, I'm saying because there was like, it was happening in the UK before this, and then it's starting to pick up.
Years before.
Yeah, years before, and then it started picking up again, and then like just people being
But
harassed.
it's just like
One guy,
it's exploded this year, you know?
what I think is great is one guy dressed up as Batman and started chasing the clowns down. Did anyone else see that story?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that was great. Okay.
Why don't I know about this story?
You should look it up.
Yeah.
There's actually a live interview with the guy in his Batman costume doing the Batman voice.
Oh God. Yeah, I got sick of looking at the news, and I'm tired of these clowns running around on my streets.
It's actually
So-
pretty much what it is. I'm tired of people harassing us.
Taking back the streets of Gotham, of America. Sorry.
All right.
But yeah, it's a good episode, guys. Good first one. Everybody, give yourselves a pat on the back. You know, clap real hard.
Wyatt,
You
give me a
guys,
high
you guys
five.
did great.
Yay!
Yay!
High five! High five,
High
Caitlin.
five,
High fives,
Sawyer.
everybody.
High five.
And shots. No.
I'll do one right now. No.
Oh, Wyatt's supposed to play us out.
Oh,
No, not yet. Hold on.
Oh.
But we want to thank you all for listening and enjoying this first episode. If you did like it, give us a thumbs up. We're going to be on YouTube for now, but we're going to plan on being on more things later. So give us a thumbs up, comment, subscribe even, because we want to hear from you. That's my question to you guys. What's your supernatural experiences? Because I want to know. I don't know about the rest of these guys, but I know I do, because I enjoy that type of stuff.
Because you're a freak.
Just a little bit. I don't like to talk about it. Batman. We're not going to talk about it.
not this time.
But yeah, please come back, because we're going to try to do this as long as you like for us to. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And please come back again. Wyatt, you know what to do. Play us out, man.